16 in the Scarlet Letter, and there was an awful lot that happened that was really exciting. There was a big lovers quarrel, well, not lovers anymore, past lovers quarrel between Chillingworth and Hester, and Pearl relentlessly asks Hester the meaning of the letter A, and why does the minister always have his hand over his heart, and all of these strange happenings. Pearl starts to change as a character. Hester stands her ground and really tells Chillingsworth, "This is it. I'm going to tell Dimmesdale." And it's just such an exciting part in the novel. It's really a turning point for a lot of the characters. So we're going to delve into another text that has a lot of similarities both in the characters and the themes. Just to give you a little background information, at the top, much like the story that Pearl overhears, The Devil and Tom Walker, which is written by Washington Irving, tells about someone selling his soul to the devil. So I'm sure you can already think of a character from the Scarlet Letter that is in a similar situation. So both texts examine religion, sin, evil, redemption, and how they influence characters, developments, events, and the themes throughout the novel and throughout this story. So here's what I want you to think about. How does an author use imagery effectively? How can parallelism add personality to a piece of writing? What are the similarities in these two texts, specifically focusing on characters and themes? Now, this assignment is going to tie in with another assignment we'll do later this week, and then it'll even carry over into next week. So it's really important that you understand what just happened in these 3 chapters, what's going on in this story, because it all kind of melds together. Okay, so first of all, you are to watch and listen to The Devil Went Down to Georgia song. Really interesting song. I thought just for fun, it ties in all of these themes, and of course it talks about making a deal with the devil. So if we're lucky enough to have YouTube working by the time you get to this is by the Charlie Daniels Band. You'll hear the song and the text, the words will be across the screen. That's the first thing you'll do. You're going to write a brief summary of the song right here. And by brief, I mean like you could probably sum it up in 1 or 2 sentences. Just let me know that you've listened to it and that you understand it, and that in your mind you can make a connection between the song and the Scarlet Letter. After that, you're going to begin reading The Devil and Tom Walker. So you have 2 options here. There's the first option on YouTube, which is the audio, and it has the text that you can watch. Or there's just the text here. And if you go to just the text, you have to scroll down a bit, and it's right here, and you scroll through this. It looks, 14 pages long is what it says, but in actuality, it's not that long. It's just that the pages are smaller. So if you prefer this style, here's this. There are lots of versions online if you don't like either of these, but thought they were good enough. So after reading The Devil and Tom Walker, you're going to complete the written responses down below here. Make sure that you use complete sentences and, as much as possible, provide text evidence to support your answers. So the questions are down here. This refers to certain lines in the text. The lines are probably going to be different depending on which text you read, but you should know from what's mentioned, like Tom's discovery, you'll understand what that's talking about as you read. So don't get too caught up on the specific lines that you'll find this information in. Lastly, we're going to take a look at some grammar that ties in really well with this story in particular. And it's talking about parallelism. That is repetition. It creates emphasis or adds rhythm, and it's really powerful. Lots of people do this when they give speeches, and lots of authors do it in their writing. And we talk about not being repetitive in our writing, but when we want to stress something really important, it can be powerful. So this excellent example here is from The Devil and Tom Walker, and it says, Tom's wife was a tall termagant, fierce of temper, loud of tongue, strong of arm. So what I've done is highlighted the adjectives, fierce, loud, strong. And then we've got the prepositional phrases, temper, tongue, arm. They start with of. Prepositional phrases start starting with of here. So just from this sentence here, you can start to see what Tom's wife was like. Fierce of temper, loud of tongue, strong of arm. She has a temper, she's loud, and she's strong. She's just a big, powerful character. So here's some things to notice. You only have 3. I just noticed a typo, and that drives me crazy. Okay, so you only have 3 examples from the text. I've already pulled them out for you. What you're going to do is find the repetition or the parallelism. You're going to highlight the adjectives yellow and then make the prepositional phrases red and bold so that this example here, your 3 examples below will look like this. So some of the words will be just black, plain, but then when you come to the repetition and the parallelism, that's where you do the highlighting of the adjectives and then the red bold for the prepositional phrases. You can get lots of information online for parallelism, so you can feel free to do some research if you'd like, but I think that the example here is probably most helpful. So I hope that you enjoy this story. Be paying attention to characterization, the use of parallelism in the writing, and look for common themes as you're reading this. And enjoy.